I'm gonna talk about your content marketing is not broken, your story is just not clear yet, right? That's there. So that's information about my company. I want to focus on the talk today. Okay? So most businesses are already putting in the effort, like what most of you just mentioned. What's missing is direction. You agree? Right? But without a clear direction, that effort doesn't build on itself. It just gets used once and move on. That's where consistency and idea comes in, right? Because most business owners would spend a lot of time worrying, what the heck am I gonna talk about on my next video? Like, what is this series of video even doing for my brand? Is it even helping me, right? That's not me. That's my dad 85 years ago. Okay. It's not a marketing problem, right? It's a consistency problem, okay? It usually comes from this. They create something, we create something, we use it once, and then have to start over again. We need to repeat the process to create something again. This is where time and money get lost, okay? So what this looks like. For your content, you pay for photos or videos. Sometimes it's super expensive. Sometimes it's cheap. Sometimes you ask your teenager son who's doing nothing, roaming in your house, can you take my video? But you use them once. And then you post for a few weeks, then it drops off. Your website doesn't even clearly explain what you do. And so marketing feels like something you try to keep up with always, like almost every day, okay? So this is where time and money get lost. You create something, you use it once, then you start over. That's the realest challenge of small business owners when it comes to video content. Again and again. So it makes it feel expensive and exhausting because it takes up your time, your resources, and everything else. Let's go talk about reality check. Okay, this is why it keeps happening. Business owners jump straight into content creation. Straight. I want a video, I'll do the video, right? They don't have a clear message. Just grab a camera and, the usual testimonies, that's good. You should have it covered, a very standard set of videos. But it's not sustainable. If you have 100 customers, you ask them for testimony videos, that's not even half the year, right? For content. And then people treat video and content as one-time projects. And they don't have a simple system to follow. So people would try, let me just post more content. Or if they have more money, let me hire people to run my social media. Or we need more videos. So these are the stuff that keeps going on in a brain of a small to medium-sized business owner. I want to introduce a simple approach that we have been using. Over the years, we start with a clear message, right? So every video project that we have done, whether it's a one-off corporate video, a campaign series, or a retained annual retainer project for clients, we don't grab our camera without a message. Because at the end of the day, it makes our job easier. Because if we won't do this, the pressure of what the business owner is having is just getting passed on to us. No? We would be the ones worrying, thinking about what to post. So we always start with a message. And then we build a video around that message. Video or videos. Okay? And then that one video can be turned into multiple pieces of content. Right? And then it gets used consistently over time. Let's say you have set up a YouTube channel, you post like a 15-minute video twice a month. That 15-minute video gets cut into multiple smaller pieces of content. I'm gonna show you how it works later on. So instead of starting from scratch every week, you build once and use it properly. Okay? So this is the system that we're using. We call it the content engine system. We clarify the story before planning the content strategy for the video, before even producing. And then once the video gets produced, we repurpose it. And then it's a repeated process on a monthly basis. And for some websites who are serious about some companies who are serious about their websites, we even bring them as an SEO and blog content for them. Half of our clients don't care about websites anymore nowadays. I tell them, yeah, it's up to you. But Google still owns the internet. If you're not doing anything on your website, you're just one of gazillions of websites that Google is ignoring on a daily basis, right? So why this actually saves money? This is a snapshot of a recent project that we finished for a nonprofit who owns a business. So his nonprofit is bringing in kids on his business, and he gets funding so that he gets more kids to train, right? Gonna show you this later. It saves money because you stop paying to start over every time. It's either you pay someone else, or if you're doing it on your own, who's paying for your time? Your company also, right? Even though you're not hiring anyone, if you use 4 hours a day to work on content, that's 4 hours worth of your time, right? Because we all have our value, like hourly value, when we run our business. So once it turns into weeks of content, your website and your messaging improve, your marketing becomes easier to maintain. So it's not just immediate sales, no? Because immediate sales always have like an advertising dollar that comes into it. Okay? It's reducing waste and making everything you do work better. That's the result. Now we come to distributing and repurposing. So each video becomes short clips, as I've said. It becomes an optimized blog, social posts. It can even support email marketing. You know? And it strengthens offline sales conversations, right? In the real world, this is equal to, at the minimum, 4 professionals working for you in-house, plus a manager that handles the 4 professionals, right? This is an example. We have a client who's a mom. She started doing a podcast, and the podcast that we built for her, it gets cut into multiple reels, because reels are like 10, 15, 30-second short videos that keeps the engine of your content on social media. And of course, we can also repurpose it as social media posts, okay? All right, this is something that you can take home with you, okay? 3 of the many tactics that we do for our clients. Here are 3 simple ways to get more out of what you're already doing. First tactic, sit down, get a piece of paper or your iPad or your laptop. Answer this from the bottom of your heart, like spend hours, couple of hours, 3 hours. What do you do? Who is it for? And why does it matter? Because if this is not clear, even if you post 100 content a day, 100 pieces of content a day, it doesn't matter because it's not clear, okay? The second one, stop creating things you can only use once. So every time you start creating content, where else can I use this? After posting this, can I still use this? Can I write a blog that is aligned to this video, right? Can I cut this into smaller clips, okay? So you can use it on your website, your social, your email, or even your future posts. Third tactic, which is the most time-saving tactic that we recommend to our clients, you batch produce. Another challenge that business owners are facing, hey, let's not work on the morning of Monday, let's produce 1 video, right? When you say batch produce, because you have a clear direction, a story, you have a plan, then you can schedule a weekend. Like let's say 4 hours on a Saturday to film 5 videos because you have a plan, correct? All right, what about the impact, right? We don't just sit in one stage of the funnel. We help business show up consistently from the first time someone discovers them up to the point that they're ready to reach out. Okay? So awareness. This is where content helps people discover your business, see you more than once, and recognize your brand. This is where most people think content stops. It doesn't stop there. It's the starting point. Awareness is the starting point with your videos. And trust building, it helps people understand what you do, see how you think, feel more confident reaching out. Right? Like how many business owners, like let's say you're looking for a vendor, you look at their website, there's nothing. You look at their social media, there's nothing. Right? So would you be even trusting working with those people? It's really up to you. Because most businesses don't lose customers because people don't find them. People can actually find you, right? There's a lot of tools to do that. It's because once people find them, the message is not there. It's not clear. Like, how am I gonna work with you? What am I gonna get from you? Staying consistent. Content helps keep you visible, right? It reinforces your message because you repeat it consistently and you stay top of mind in the minds of your target audience. So what you really build is consistency because that's what actually leads to inquiries. Consistency leads to inquiries. I will not talk about this if I haven't experienced this. I have been in this business for a lot of years. I spent very little amount of money on ad spend. I focus my effort in educating my target audience. So I get invited to speak. I have a podcast. I have a very small podcast, video podcast on YouTube. It has, I think, 3,500 subscribers. Not big, but I already have 500,000 views on that small channel. And when I was in Singapore, 70% of my clients were people who just watched my podcast and called me. Because they tried to do what I am teaching on my podcast and they cannot make it work. So they called me. Part of the skill set is the interview process, right? I am a storyteller by profession. So I know the questions that I should ask so that I get those good answers. Because if you ask them, what's your favorite color? What answer would you get? It's either blue or red. Right? But if you ask them, why do you think blue inspires this activity, in the lives of your target audience? That gives you more, a deeper context, right? So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Marketing works better when you stop starting from scratch. So when you go home, stop starting from scratch. Spend a few hours planning. If you need my help, I can help you. That's the call to action. When your message is clear, one shoot doesn't just give you a video, it gives you weeks of content you can actually use, even months. And that's what turns marketing from something that feels inconsistent into something that finally works for your brand. And if you need to connect with me, these are my whatnot. And I published a book last year. That's the first thing that I did when I got to the States. I want to publish a book. For looking for clients. So my book is called The Human Prompt. It's the demand for storytellers in the age of AI. It's on Amazon. Yeah, that is like 2 gallons of gas if you buy it. So I can have extra 2 gallons of gas for my car. Yeah, so I hope you learned something from my mumblings here. Do you have any questions?
And thank you.